Hey guys, Mike Taylor, aka Battleship Cobra here. This is Season 1, Episode 10. I told myself I would do 10 podcasts and just try it out. So far, I have really been enjoying them. Just kind of riffing, and I don't really have too much of a point. I just pick random topics, so hopefully you're enjoying it, and I'm enjoying making them. They're actually pretty easy to make, so if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you can go to podcast.battleshipcobra.com and you can check out my other episodes. You can check them out on audio platforms. I'm on everything, Spotify, whatever else. Just go check Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. So subscribe there, everybody. If you're listening to the audio version, you can go to youtube.battleshipcobra.com and you can see the video versions. Or if you just watch these in the day, you can just throw them on YouTube. So today's episode is about the warrior spirit. So I'm going to start out talking about the breath again, guys. If you're not meditating or you're not even trying to meditate, it would be really useful for you. I found massive amounts of benefit to doing it. Just following my breath, being mindful of my breath, it's really important. Okay. Quote to start. If he errs, if he wanders, if he indulges in self-pity, he does not despair. He knows that he is human and he remembers the choice that he made. He picks his sword back up from the ground and resumes the path of the warrior. This has helped me a lot. Exactly what it's saying. My wife always says quotes are stupid because they just say exactly what they're supposed to say. And why do you need a quote to say something that you should just say? Well, I think it encapsulates, I think of quotes as being like magic spells in a way. Just reading that, it makes me just realize like, hey, maybe you're just feeling sorry for yourself or whatever. Maybe you've gotten off the path a little bit. Just pick up your sword back from the ground and resume the path of the warrior. And I think that just that by itself, you can read the quotes always in the video descriptions on YouTube or in the video descriptions of the podcast episodes as well. So what does it mean for me to be a warrior? I think when I was younger, I was obsessed with knights. I was obsessed with samurais as well, samurai culture. I think it's just a noble thing to be a warrior, and people think, oh, it's like somehow shameful to be a masculine archetype. But I think that the whole point of a knight and the whole point of a samurai was not just offensive power. It was about being a well-rounded person. It was about being somebody that could do poetry and play an instrument, somebody that really dedicated themselves to a craft, somebody who was strong and didn't just give up. I think that a lot of those aspects of life are being lost. It doesn't mean that you have to be violent and go out and hurt people. I think that sometimes violence is the answer, but it's not the first answer. And I find that the more I've learned about fighting, the less I really need to use it. So again, it's not, being a warrior means you are not going to give up. You're going to be dedicated with courage. You're going to follow your path. You're going to train every day. You are going to use less than you need to use. You are going to be humble, and you're going to focus on the task at hand, and you're going to keep your word. Those positive things, I feel like, make somebody a warrior or have a warrior spirit. So, the role of martial arts in my life. I started martial arts pretty late, really. I was a massive UFC fan, and I was always watching UFC, and I was just obsessed with UFC, and on all the fighters. I tracked everybody. I had my particular favorites, and then one day a friend said, "Hey, why don't you come do kickboxing or jiu-jitsu?" Might have been jiu-jitsu. So come do kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and I started at an MMA gym, and that was the last day. And from then on, I loved martial arts. It's changed my whole perspective on everything, forcing your body to go beyond what you think and how far you think you can go. I think, especially in martial arts where you're fighting and you're in a combative situation, it'll teach you what you can do, and you can push you a lot further than you think you can push yourself. So if you're in tough situations, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, you're put into tough situations, and if you can stick with them, then you're going to be a tougher person. And there is something people are talking a lot nowadays about being a softer person, being a more feminine person. Well, I think it would just be annoying if every single person for every single thing that you wanted to do was constantly just breaking down and crying about everything and expressing their feelings. There's a time and a place for that, and that's all great. And being in touch with who you are is part of being a warrior. You are doing poetry. You're a well-rounded person. I mean, in the case of the samurai, doing poetry was a big thing. Calligraphy, all sorts of other things. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to define yourself as being somebody who hurts other people. You will have a well-rounded look at life and a well-rounded set of skills, and you'll be who you truly are. And I think martial arts brought out who I was, who I am, and it's improved me, and it's shown me a lot of human potential. A lot of the times you think you're going to quit, but again, not quitting will keep you going. And the thing about doing martial arts a lot is you want to start organizing your life so that you will be more in shape, and you start I don't know. I started to think if I eat that, then next time I do jiu-jitsu, I will just I won't have the stamina in order to survive. I want to get better. I was so obsessed. Right now, obviously, it's harder to do this, but it's coming back. And again, organizing my life to focus on never missing classes, martial arts, always being present. I loved it. I love it. I love learning. I love the whole expression of physicality. Don't misunderstand that it's about violence or hurting people. I feel like at this point there's very few things that will get me to fly off the handle to actually hurt somebody. I feel like I don't need to prove anything to anybody, and I don't walk around trying to get into a fight. I don't have to prove anything. I've proved things in real situations against people who are well trained. There's no point in having some random person provoke me. I don't care at all. I don't need to prove anything to anybody in that regard. I have a black belt, and I'm working on other belts, and that doesn't matter either. I mean, you're never going to be the best. Just keep working hard every day. And I think that fundamentally is something that rolls into being a stoic. I think part of being a warrior, it's a stoic philosophy. If you're familiar with Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, etc., practicing your craft every day, living a simple lifestyle, being present and focused on what you're doing, not complaining, and not focusing on things, decadence, useless things, and just embracing challenges. being somebody who, if something bad happens, you just accept it, roll with the punches. And I think the Stoic lifestyle is awesome. I really try to live that way. I have nice things and the things that I want, but I try not to just buy random useless stuff. I enjoy what I'm doing. I try to work on the craft that I'm working on, and I try to focus on the things I can control and not on the things I can't. So I'm going to close this one off and just say a quote from Marcus Aurelius. If you haven't checked out Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, it's really, really an important book to read. I also like Seneca's work, and he has a series of letters that he's posted. They're just fantastic. They're just as applicable today. And you have to think Marcus Aurelius's Meditations was a journal that he kept. Marcus Aurelius was like one of the most powerful men in the world at the time, Emperor of Rome. And so you got to listen to what he was telling himself. The guy was amazing, incredible person. Incredibly interesting philosophy. And again, the Stoics are a very good way to model yourself. So to end off, we'll do this quote. First thing every morning, tell yourself, today I'm going to meet a busybody, an ingrate, a bully, a liar, a schemer, and a boor. Ignorance of good and evil has made them what they are, but I know that the good is by nature beautiful and the bad ugly. And I know that these wrongdoers are by nature my brothers, not by blood or breeding, but by being similarly endowed with reason and sharing in the divine. None of them can harm me, for none of them can force me to do wrong against my will. And I cannot be angry with a brother or resent him, for we were born into this world to work together like the feet, hands, eyelids, and upper and lower rows of teeth. To work against one another is contrary to nature, and what could be more like working against someone than resenting or abandoning him? By Marcus Aurelius. I think that caring and really caring about what you're doing is a sign that you're on the right path. There has to be some sort of something motivating you, and if you're not doing something that you really want to do, don't do it. Figure out a way to get out of it. Figure out a way to change it. But I think just knowing that you're on the path of what you need to do will bring out that the passion to work with other people, to focus on what you need to focus on, and to really see that caring in what you're doing and caring about what other people get out of it and caring that you're doing a good job. I think that's kind of the warrior way. You stand up for what you believe in, you do what's right regardless of who's watching. And I think those seem trite, but they are extremely important and very, very valuable lessons. If you lose those and you just blame other people, you never take responsibility for anything, you're not going to get anywhere. So you choose only once to be a warrior or ordinary. So that's the end of this episode. Look into Marcus Aurelius, any of the Stoics, read about Bushido, do some kickboxing and push yourself hard. Don't quit. And follow the warrior path. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. If you want to send me a message, send it to voicemail.battleshipcobra.com. You can actually leave me a voice message. You can contact me on linkedin.battleshipcobra2, linkedin.battleshipcobra.com. You can send me a message there. I really appreciate it. If you listened this long, thank you so much. I'm planning to continue to do episodes. I don't know how long season 1 will be or how many will be in a season, but I'm enjoying doing these, so I'll keep doing them. And if you keep listening, then I'll keep doing them. So thank you again, and bye for now.